Hi, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in to the BellaNetworking Podcast show. I'm your host, Bella Networking Guru, and for some of you that don't know, I help businesses just like you turn coffee into clients. I host a number of training seminars, and I also work on a one-to-one basis as a networking mentor, and I'm actually an international professional speaker as well. So conferences and exhibitions hire me as a speaker. So in this podcast topic, I will be talking about why new contacts you meet at networking events actually book you as a person and not necessarily your service. And this is an essential tip to turn coffee into clients. So, guys, wouldn't it be a perfect world? You attend a networking event, have a good old chit chat, eat a couple of canapes, drink the glorious wine, exchange a business card, book the coffee follow-up, choose a location, have a conversation for an hour. The new delegate is so impressed. The next day, they send you the email, I would love to book your services, send me the client contract. Well, guys, in the real world, that does not happen. So if you're expecting from my podcast show that you can instantly order your Americano or cappuccino at that coffee shop and you'll win a new client, it doesn't work like that. You do have to put the hard work in. And one of the things that's really important that a lot of people don't understand about networking is that it is your number one advertising tool, and it's a business personal branding tool as well. So I have to just emphasize how important it is that in business and networking, people do not buy your service primarily. People buy you, and people buy your personality, and people buy based on trust and likability. So let's take an example in the real world. You have two airlines, two brands that you're very familiar with. You have British Airways and you have Virgin, both going to New York, because I know that very well. I have a business in New York, so I travel to New York about 3 times a year. Now, this is a great question. Which brand do you think I fly when I go to New York? So I'm not going to mention which brand because I'm not a brand ambassador, unless maybe they sponsor my show. So there you go. So we have British Airways and we have Virgin. They are both known very well for their different type of brand identity. Now, if we strip away who they are, what they represent, the service is the same. They are both an airline. They both have 2 wings on their aeroplane to get you from A to B, from London to New York. They are doing exactly the same thing. They use a ticket system you can book online. However, the difference is the branding and what they are known for. We know Virgin's story very well. We know what Virgin stands for, that is hip, and those are my opinions, but we both know what Virgin stands for, and we know very much what British Airways stand for, and also maybe the quintessential British style of things. So there's a big difference why a customer will choose British Airways first Virgin. So I wanted to use that example because before you actually have that coffee meeting, there's a lot of work you need to do. And I do need to emphasize a lot of work, because what some businesses and entrepreneurs and SMEs fail to understand, that success is an overnight success, and it really isn't. Not only is it not an overnight success, everything has a process. And having a coffee follow-up with a new delegate you met at a networking event isn't just an ABC format. There needs to be elements involved. So it's just like baking a cake. You cannot bake a cake quickly without the eggs, the sugar, or flour. There's essential ingredients. So there's essential ingredients to turn your coffee into clients. So one of the essential ingredients is actually thinking about yourself as your personal brand and yourself as your personality and character, yourself as being that industry expert, yourself on maybe customer reviews of your business. That's very important. So it's actually all the other things before you deliver the service. So what I mean by that is when you attend a networking event, that delegate has got a very short window to figure you out. That's why they say like first impressions count. Now, the coffee meeting actually starts from the networking event, because if you don't give a good impression, that new delegate is not going to say, yes, I'd love to have a coffee follow-up, or they're not going to remember you for starters. Or when you take the business card and you give them a call the next day or a couple of days to say, hey, we met at a networking event, I'd love to go to coffee, they have got a choice either to say yes or no. So the objective here, which we would all agree, we want to get a yes. And not only do we want to get a yes, obviously we want to get a yes that new delegate either books our service or maybe makes a recommendation or referral to another person. So at that networking event, when you're exchanging the business cards, one of the things I want you to remember, because I like to keep things very simple. I've been a networking guru for 10 years, and I don't like to mince my words or make difficult shenanigans or examples. So let's keep things so clear. Think of it like dating. If you're a man trying to woo a lady, you want to take her on a date, you have to be the best form, the best person you can be. So therefore, at a networking event, you need to think about, what's my personal brand saying? How am I showing I'm an industry expert? Because you want to get a yes for the coffee. So if you achieve that yes for the coffee, what will happen at that coffee follow-up networking meeting? At that networking coffee follow-up meeting, you need to show why your brand supersedes your competition. So just like the example of British Airways versus Virgin, every website company is the same service. Every marketing company is the same service. Every logo merchandise service is something. You have to demonstrate maybe that va-va-voom, why you are different. And that's what's going to be the buy-in from that new delegate. Because don't forget, a bit like dating, that new delegate has only met you for what? 10, 15 minutes at the networking event. So they don't know anything about you. So it's just like dating, where you're trying to constantly impress that lady or that gentleman that you know you are great boyfriend material, girlfriend material, whatever the case may be. So at that networking event, that's what you're trying to do. You want to show validation. You want to show you're the best at the service. And everything that you're able to do that with is that you as a person, because in business, where I mentioned before, people buy services. People are buying people, They are not buying services. So the other person needs to buy into you. And there's a lot of ways you're able to do that. For example, maybe before the coffee meeting, if you have some great testimonials on LinkedIn, before the coffee meeting, when you confirm the coffee location, be it at a hotel, be it at Starbucks, Costa Coffee, or Dunkin' Donuts, wherever you want to meet the person, you could just say, hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you on the 12th of February, 5 p.m. And by the way, I'd like to share my LinkedIn recommendations with you. And that's quite great edification because somebody else is talking about you. Another way is maybe some PR. So something where other people are talking about you, or if you don't have testimonials because you might be a new business, you can share articles or blogs because that's really, really, really important. So guys, please let me know, what do you think about this topic on how to turn coffee into clients? That planning is so important. And in business, people are buying, people are not services. And out of interest, I would love to know, if you were flying to New York, which airline would you choose? Virgin or British Airways, and why? And what does personal branding mean to you? What does your personal brand represent? So guys, you can check my podcast every Monday evening and every Wednesday evening. And please share my podcast with colleagues in your network. Also, you can visit my LinkedIn using the hashtag Coffee with Bella Railways to get a lot more coffee tips, or do subscribe to my YouTube channel and podcast channel. And if you would love to maybe get some more tips or information on how to turn your coffee into client, then guys, why don't you actually book a coffee with me? All you have to do is visit my Set More diary link, which will be in the description, and you can choose a date and time of your choice. And I'd love to find out what challenges you are having turning coffee into clients. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Bella Networking Podcast show.